Jason's here.
Good evening. We'll call the City of Hawarden City Council meeting to order on Wednesday, June the 28th, 2017 at 5:40 p.m. Present are council members other than Payne and Travis and staff other than Pam. Kind of a short agenda item tonight. First standard agenda item is approval of the June 14th, 2000 council meeting minutes. They've been in your packet. Is there a motion? Motion by Tim.
Second.
Seconded by John.
Yes.
All in favor of the June 14th City Council meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That passes 3-0.
You say aye.
Next is claims for payment. We'll start with John for questions.
No questions, thanks.
Questions? Tim? Monty, any questions?
So moved.
Motion by Monty, seconded by
Let's
Tim.
go home.
Claims for payment.
Jim got paid.
All in favor then of the claims for payment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That again passes 3-0. Thank you. Open business from the community. Hearing none, we'll
Two
move
votes
to,
can pass then, right?
we'll move to the mayor's report.
You got a quorum, yeah, for motions.
Yeah. What else is on here?
I was honored to represent the city of
resolutions.
Hawarden at the 100th anniversary of the Hawarden Christian Reformed Church this past Saturday. We congratulate them on their history and thank their members for all they do in our community. Roger Johnson, Kathy Brown, and myself welcomed a group from Sioux City on Saturday that were touring the Freedom Rocks in the 4 area counties. So we thank them for coming to Hawarden and had a nice visit with them. We want to thank all of those that helped at the very successful tractor pull. Hawarden Chamber Coffee is tomorrow at the Hawarden Regional Healthcare Hospital. Also, thanks to those unknown persons that work hard to make the flower beds at the main city park look so nice. Again, the Calliope Car Show is coming up on Saturday, July the 8th. And lastly, please be safe with your fireworks over the 4th of July holiday. Keep them safe, we hope. Anything from the council? Hearing nothing, we move to staff reports. Tom, anything?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Gary?
I have nothing tonight.
Okay. Mike?
Nothing.
Anything?
No.
Okay. No staff reports. We'll move then to other agenda items. Jason, thanks for being with us. Hospital update, please.
Thank you. We are getting closer. Last Thursday, Friday, we opened up the physical medicine department upstairs, moved the equipment and got that operational. They were started to see patients this Monday in that new space. Cafeteria and the kitchen is open. We're just primarily trying to get used to the new equipment, feeding patients first. We'll start to feed staff July 11th. So that's, and then after that, once we get comfortable with that, then we'll open it up to the public. So, but that's kind of the time frame that we're looking at. We still have part of the wing that needs to be reopened. We had the fire marshal out last week, and she gave a preliminary occupancy of it, but we have a few things that we need to do yet, but it's nearly done. Then they have to move downstairs and build a pharmacy storage area, and then finish the doctor's sleep room. And so they're laying floor in that today, so it's getting nearly done. So we do have the chamber coffee on Thursday, so that'll be in the new space. So we got that planned. That should be a great event to kind of show it off a little bit. If people go up there and they see blue tape, the architects have gone through and completed their punch list, so there's a lot of additional work that needs to be done by contractors to finish up the remaining project and the finished product that's there. So we're close to opening up the street. We're hoping to get that open by the end of the week. We'll be moving the dumpster in front where the old physical therapy entrance was, and then putting the porta potties there. Also, we have contacted the church across the way, and we'll be putting a roll-off storage bin there. We have had an opportunity to collect a lot of things that we thought we may need when we moved into the new building, and now we need to go through the old rooms where they're all stored and get them out and decide what we need to do with them, put them on an auction. So we're planning to have a public auction for the things that we thought we needed, but maybe we don't, and so we're trying to go through all those types of things and then get those rooms cleaned up and ready for operation also. So those are some of the activities that are happening for the hospital, and so far things are going great.
Still pretty busy, aren't they?
Yes, we
Stuff
are.
going on yet.
There's we got a lot going on. It seems like since we opened up our doors, it's been pretty constant and consistent in our emergency room and in our inpatient stays. So, which is a good sign.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
Questions from council for Jason? Good, thanks again. Thanks for
And
being with us.
we know we need to mow the grounds. It's just a little difficult. We know we have some weeds showing through with new grass, and it needs to get done, but we need to get it done soon. So we'll get on top of that also. I know that I've heard some comments that, hey, there's weeds growing. Yep, it's new grass.
That happens.
Can't do
Yeah.
it too soon.
Okay.
So, otherwise, I invite any of the city council or city officials up to take a private tour. I'd love to do that at any point in time. It's really a great accomplishment for the town and the citizens here, and it's just been a great. There's been headache, but it's a great addition to our town. Thank you.
Thanks for that invitation. Next agenda item is oath of office for the library board member Laura Cervantes. She had replaced Terry Carlson, and now she's going to start on her own term, so we'll invite her forward.
Good for you, Laura. Good for you.
Go ahead, please. Raise your right hand, thank you.
I, Laura Cervantes, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of library board for the city of Hawarden as now or hereafter required by the law, dated this 28th day of June 2017.
Thank you again for your energy and your volunteerism. Thank you, sign that.
Thank you very much. I'll get you a copy of this, too.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you. We appreciate your volunteerism. That's fine. Agenda item number 5 would be a resolution 2017-15 authorizing appropriation to Baumgars, which would be the final payment on this development agreement. It's been the final one, and so is there a motion for resolution 2017-15?
So,
Moved by Tim, is there a second?
second.
What happens if this doesn't pass?
Comes back.
Been a motion and a second by Tim and by John for resolution 2017-15. A roll call vote for resolution 2017-15.
Feldhacker,
Aye.
Harvey,
Barely.
Kurth,
On a 3-0 roll call vote, resolution 2017-15 passes. Agenda item number 6 is a resolution 2017-16, again authorizing an annual appropriation, this time in development for Coilcraft.
So moved.
There's a motion by Monty, is there a second? Seconded by Tim. Call for a roll call vote then, please, for Resolution 2017-16.
Kurth.
Aye.
Feldhacker.
Aye.
Harvey.
Yep.
On a 3-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2017-16 passes. We're going to have continued discussion on the process for hiring the city administrator. Gary has put together, at least in our packet, from the a League of Cities, a kind of a guide for recruiting a city administrator. Also, we've kind of put together a city administrator hiring timeline. Pardon me.
We should point out for anybody that cares that the League of Cities from Oregon presented us with this information, and not the city of Unities from Iowa, which we pay a small fortune to. Unbelievable.
Greg, that's Greg.
We've kind of put, Gary's and I myself kind of put the hiring timeline together. Gary had kind of mentioned to us that timing for him as far as being toward the end of his position would be toward the end of February.
Yeah,
Correct, Gary?
23rd is what I'm shooting for, 23rd of February.
And we've had a little bit of discussion of perhaps as council not going outside and doing a hiring of a, like a better word, a headhunter for this position. And so the timeline would keep us obviously in time to get all of this completed. And on page 20 of that city administrator recruitment kind of talks a little bit, gives you a, excuse me, if I can go to the right way that way. Just need to get there. Has an appendix for kind of the selection process checklist for council members. And Gary and I had been giving kind of some thought on how to have all council members have input, and my thought would be tonight to maybe appoint 2 members. We know that Travis and John will both be continuing through the next cycle because their terms on council are not complete at the end of this year. And we would appoint John and Travis to be the committee persons to work with Gary and myself, and have council members give input to those people and myself and Gary, so we can put things on paper and bring back to the council to put together the items such as the advertising, the range of salary. Gary has also put into our iPad the what was used when we hired Gary for the job description. Come on. Let's go here. Sorry I'm taking so long. We kind of talked a little bit, Gary and myself, that the neighboring states have League of Cities that we can advertise in, somewhat relatively inexpensive. Could you give a little thought on that process also, Gary, council?
Yeah, I did some checking, and that's really where a lot of folks that are, at least are in the city administration business, are going to look. And Iowa's free. Minnesota would cost $75 a week. South Dakota is $50 for 30 days. And Nebraska is 55 cents per word for 30 days, so you could, we can figure out, once we figure out what the ad's going to say, we could come up with a cost, but, you could advertise in all of those for probably $300 or $400 for a month, so, total. So, if you were to run an ad like the Argus Leader, it's going to cost you probably $1,500, or for a weekend.
Yeah,
So,
that's not really hitting the audience that we want either, so I agree that the League of Cities.
or the Journal is not quite as bad, but it's bad enough. It's expensive as well, so.
Sounds good.
Would it be agreeable with council then if we have Travis and John as a two council member person to work with Gary and myself to help keep us on time and with this timeline? We would put together put together now the ad salary range, those types of things, and bring that back to the council at the next meeting to keep you folks informed. Council members obviously will have input in everything that we do, and you can, it's obviously difficult to have input when, a number of council members aren't present, but you can certainly email or call Gary and myself or John or Travis. And we would disseminate it and make sure we put it all together as the council wishes.
Sounds good.
That sound like a working plan, Monty?
Whatever.
Okay. John, you willing to serve on that committee?
Yeah, you can do
Okay. Okay. So we will then, at the next meeting, John and I, prior to that, John and Travis, Gary and I will sit down for a couple meetings, try to put some things on paper to bring back for approval for the profile and schedule again, and then move on with the salary range and publications, and obviously, hopefully, keep on this timeline here to fulfill that position, to have that person in place February 1st of 2018. That person will be able to spend some time then with Gary before Gary retires out from here. Okay? And obviously, we'll keep you informed too, Jim, with any legalities that we need to have. Okay? Any other thoughts or questions tonight about our discussion with this?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Then the last agenda item for the evening is a transfer of a liquor license for July the 8th from Sportsman's. Is there a motion for that agenda item?
So,
Moved by Tim, seconded by John. All in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Our next meeting then will be Wednesday, July the 12th. Motion to adjourn.
You're welcome.
Thank you, John. Second. Seconded by Tim. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
I'll take care
Okay.
of it.
You sure?
Thank you, we're adjourned.
If you're strapped for cash, I understand.